here. I'm never letting you watch that movie again.
Merry Christmas, guys!
Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. We actually got the inspiration for this video the other night when we were watching How the Grinch Stole Christmas with the kids.
Some things hit home.
Yeah. We wanted to share this with you guys because it I thought it made it more relatable about how autism is misunderstood, just like how the Grinch is misunderstood. Alan made a comment in the beginning of the movie, and I'm throughout the entire movie like, yes, yes, yes. So we thought it'd be a great idea to have Alan, our lovely read out loud, read the story of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and I will point out signs of autism as explained by the Grinch.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Every who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot.
Forgot to show the page. It's okay. I got your back, people.
But the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows a reason.
Isn't that what everybody says about autistic kids?
It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his hearts or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging up a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow's Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously drumming, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming, for tomorrow he knew.
You might be stumming a little bit there.
All the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early, they'd rush for their toys, and then, oh the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated, the noise, 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 noise.
Because people with autism are usually very sensitive to noise.
Then the Whos, young and old, would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least.
Maybe he has food aversions, like most kids with autism.
And then they do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing.
Because a lot of people with autism, again, the noise, loud singing and bells ringing.
Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming, but how?
I mean, he's got a long time with this sensitivity.
And then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, what a great Grinchy trick. With his coat and his hat, I look just like Saint Nick.
I just saw one I didn't think of before. A lot of people with autism associate very specific things as their identities. So it makes sense that somebody with autism might associate just a coat and a hat as Santa Claus.
All I need is a reindeer, the Grinch looked around. But since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head, thinking outside the box. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, giddy up, and the sleigh started down towards the homes where the Whos lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air, all the Whos were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, "This is stop number one," the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue. Where the little Who stockings all hung in a row, these stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go.
First thing they see is their focus.
Then he slithered and slunked, with a smile most unpleasant, around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums. And he stuffed them in bags, then the Grinch, very nimble, stuffed all the bags, one by one, up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's piece. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash.
It's amazing all the details they can catch.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And then the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove. Then he heard a small sound like a coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who. Cindy Lou who was no more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree, why?" But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," the fake Santa Claus lied, "there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here." And his fib fooled the child, then he patted her head. He got her a drink and he sent her to bed. And then Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup. He went up to the chimney and stuffed the tree up.
I'd like to point out, they said the Grinch was smart. Kids with autism are very smart.
Yes. Then the last thing he took was a log in their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food they left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the others whose houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the others whose houses.
Consistency. Very common with autism.
It was 1:15 dawn, all the Who's still abed. All the Who's still snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings and trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-hoo to the Who's, he was grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will cry, boo-hoo. "That's a noise," grinned the Grinch, "that I simply must hear." So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, and then started to grow. But that sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Very common for autism for people to sit there and ponder about the same thing for several hours.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. In the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. The end.
And I hope you guys know, by us going through this, we're not saying that people with autism are Grinches. We're not saying that the Grinch has autism. We're saying that in this story, there are a lot of signs of autism, and we thought that it was another way to relate signs of autism with you guys. Kind of like a different way to think about it.
Yeah. And let's be honest, all children, adults, however old they are, with autism have a heart 3 times the size. Yeah.
They're just very misunderstood. So it's not that their heart grows, it's that they either learn how to express it in a different way, and people can learn how to accept them in a different way. We wanted to share this with you guys because it kind of, I thought it made it more relatable about how autism is misunderstood, just like how the Grinch is misunderstood.
The Grinch is misunderstood, and the Grinch misunderstands
The Who's.
and
Christmas.
And Christmas.
Yeah. But like a lot of the noise sensitivities and everything else, I'm like, oh man, checking off a lot of boxes here. So different way for you guys to look at signs of autism. We do have another video that has signs of autism if you guys want to check that out. We'll link it down in the description bar below. But we just thought for Christmas, it's always nice to have a fresh perspective.
And who doesn't love a little story time?
Yeah. Who doesn't love story time at Christmas? You guys let me know, were there any signs of autism that you guys heard when listening to this story that I didn't mention? Because I thought of a couple that after you'd already read past, I'm like, that could be related as a sign. So you tell me, what did you guys think were signs of autism? They're in there. You can see them.
Yeah.
You guys know. You know what I'm talking about. Comment down below.
Yeah.
Let us know.
If you enjoy this, I will read you Green Eggs and Ham about food aversion.
Yes, please. Please comment down below if you want green eggs and ham. I know Christmas is looking a lot different this year, but I hope you guys are finding ways to enjoy it, just like we're having to find some different ways to figure out how to keep Christmas as normal as possible, but still stay safe. Still stay safe. That's what Dr. Seuss will do to you.
Yeah, this is why I read Dr. Seuss.
I can't do it. That and the dyslexia. I don't stand a chance with Dr. Seuss. If you guys enjoyed our read along or found this entertaining, please give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we post new videos. We put out new videos every single Tuesday, and we haven't missed a Tuesday. We also have an Instagram account if you guys want to follow more of our day-to-day life. We just posted a story on there about Jesse's reaction because we just hit 200 subscribers. Yay! So that was exciting. He was really happy to see that. So if that's the kind of thing you guys want to see too, go ahead and follow us over on Instagram. And if not, we will see you right here on YouTube on next Tuesday. Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.
Click on this video. Will you please click on this video? Come on, push it. Can you please subscribe? Can you please push that subscribe button? Or for the other video, just go and press this button. Go on, click this button, or this button, or this button. Well, mostly this button. I would like it if you did.